The Manuscript of Survival, Part 308. May 11, 2013. As the days and nights pass by, the magnitude of what you have become part of will start to seep in so many ways. Yes, this does entail some rather intense personnel clearings, but at the same time, it also signals the start of a brand new era. Not just for each and every one of you, but also for this planet. You see, as we have mentioned in an earlier missive, this connecting and gathering that you have been focusing in on, is not just something that you have been partaking in. For this is indeed a global event, or rather events, in more ways than one, as there are other groups just like yours in the middle of going through the same deepening of relations. And when we say relations, we refer to both the personal one, the one where each and every individual gets a chance to delve deeper into their own core than ever before, but we also mean this process of connecting, or rather, reconnecting, both with their own aspects behind the veil as it were, and indeed with all the rest of creation. But this is also a process of connecting and weaving together so many individual people scattered across your globe into a myriad of these webs of light, just like the one you now feel yourself so deeply attached to. Let us explain. As we have mentioned on many an occasion before, this all has to do with specific frequencies. And just like in magnetics, different frequencies are drawn to each other, hence the resonance you all feel when you enter this pond for the very first time. For what has drawn you here in the first place, is the inherent attraction that the vibrational frequency of this pond carries. For you will have felt as if it spoke to you, and that is in fact just what this frequency does. It works like a homing beacon, sending out signals that will attract all of those capable of tuning into the signal. And what makes you capable of tuning into it, is the frequency you carry with you when you enter into a physical body and become an inhabitant of this planet. And remember, there are many different frequencies that one can carry, but each and every individual has one that is the signature one. And whenever you come across someone carrying this same kind of energetic signature, you will automatically notice it. Hence, this experience of meeting someone for the first time, but still feeling as if this is someone you have known all of your life. Or rather, for eternity. For underneath this superficial human layer, you are all just walking energy fields, and your energy field carries this signature frequency, and this frequency is becoming even more activated now. And that was indeed the process that took place before, during and after this so-called gathering. You are all part of the same frequency group, and so, you will have this affinity for each other. It is literally in your blood, as all that you are comprised of, carries this same signature. In fact, this is what is encoded in your DNA, and so, this is not something that can be faked, if we may use such a word. In other words, you will be naturally drawn to the people who carry the same tune as you, and you will have a much more neutral, or at times, even negative, feeling towards those that comes with a very different frequency than yours. This may sound strange, but it is indeed a vital part of this plan for rebirthing your whole planet. For individually, you do not carry enough weight to make much difference, but as soon as you get entrained, as we like to call it, or connected if you will, you start to form an energetic grid that is vastly more powerful than the individual components put together side by side. We have discussed this in some detail before, so this will not be news to any of you. But what may be news, is the fact that there are so many other groups of different frequencies going through the exact same process as yours. You will find them on this World Wide Web you call the Internet, as they have also been guided to set into motion a sort of gathering or mass communication like you have in your gatherings, and for some of you, you might even be called to take part in other activation sequences with a different group from this in addition to what you have been doing here. And this is because that in these different frequency signatures, there are also subgroups, and these subgroups crisscross their web of light with others that they are in tune with. This will sound very complicated, and it is indeed difficult to wrap your head around, so do not try to understand it all. But just know this, if you do feel called to connect in any way with someone, whether that be a single person or a group, it is always important to answer that call and follow through on this hunch. For there is always a reason for it, even if that reason may not be apparent to you at the outset. Again, all will be known as soon as the time is right, but for now it suffices you to know that this has all been carefully planned in order to get you all ready and perfectly placed. So when the time comes for you to step into the role that you will carry into the future, you will be connected with all the right people, and you will be connected to this web of energy through all of the contact points that are needed for you personally to function optimally. For now, that is as far as we will go with details, for this is indeed a very complicated picture, and one that is impossible for any of you to get the full scope of yet. So let us just leave it at that, and remind you to follow your inner guidance in all of this. It may sound difficult and overly complicated, but know that all it means is that you will feel the joy in your heart whenever you take a step that will enable you to connect in all the right ways with all of the right people. For then, the love you feel coursing through your whole being will continue to increase in a way you have not been able to feel before. So this is, in all aspects, truly a labor of love, and it is also a labor of love that will reach far and beyond your own shores. You have gotten a small glimpse of this through the visions many have shared in the aftermath of this, your first gathering, but know that this is nothing compared to the joys you all have ahead of you. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com